Assalamu alaikum students. This is Sir Faizan and today we are going to discuss the formation of salts, different method of the formation of salt, and we will discuss the different reactions through which we can prepare salts. Students, you know very well, salt can be prepared when you react an acid with metal. You can form salt. You know very well, acid can also react with a substance which is known as insoluble base. Insoluble base, so you will also find salt. You know, acid can also react with soluble base. I'm using the word soluble and insoluble base. You know very well, soluble base is also known as alkali. So you will find salt in the product. Acid can react with a metal carbonate. So you will also find salt. So you can see here, acids react with these substances, so you will get the salt. You know very well, in the properties of the chemical property of acid, when acid reacts with metal, it not only forms salt, it also forms a gas which is H2, hydrogen gas. When acid reacts with insoluble bases, you know the definition of base, metal oxide and hydroxide. Insoluble means does not dissolve in water. So if it reacts with insoluble bases, metal oxide, hydroxide, it not only forms salt, also water. In the same way, if acid reacts with a soluble base, that is soluble in water, which is also known as alkali, so it will form salt and water. When acid reacts with metal carbonate, it will form salt plus water plus carbon dioxide. It's a kind of a gas. So these are the reactions through which you can prepare salt. You can see here all the reactions have salt in it. We will discuss one by one. First we will start with the reaction number 1. When acid reacts with metal, it will form salt and hydrogen gas. Okay student, the first method is making salt with metal. You know that all the reactions have acid, but you know different, the second reactant is different. So the first one, acid react with metal. We will take the example of the zinc sulfate here. Zinc sulfate, the formula of zinc sulfate ZnSO4, it is one of the salt. How can you prepare this salt, zinc sulfate? We have a reaction like we can take an example of take a metal zinc in a solid form. When it reacts with a dilute sulfuric acid, H2SO4, it will form zinc sulfate. The formula is ZnSO4 plus hydrogen gas. So zinc sulfate is a salt. So we can be prepared when zinc, the metal in a metallic form, react with dilute sulfuric acid, form salt and water. H2SO4 in aqueous form, zinc sulfate is also in aqueous form. Okay students, first we are going to discuss the steps of the formation of zinc sulfate. This is the equation of the formation of zinc sulfate. So what are the steps? First you need to take a beaker. Place hydrogen sulfuric acid in it, dilute. Okay, add zinc Zn into the acid in the beaker. The zinc, when you add zinc in it, it start dissolving. This is zinc. It start dissolving in this H2SO4, or reacting with this H2SO4, the formation of the bubbles of the hydrogen gas. You will observe the bubble formation, which is basically H2. Okay, so it start producing the bubbles of the hydrogen gas. So what happened after some time? You will find that the bubbles stop when all the acid is used up or utilized by the zinc and turning into zinc sulfate. So you will find that the solution has extra zinc in excess, and you have a solution of now you have a solution of zinc sulfate, because all the acid is utilized or reacted with zinc, so there is no H2SO4 in the speaker, and there is no um, bubbles of the H2. So it's mean that reaction is completed here. So what can you do? So now you need to remove this extra zinc from the zinc sulfate. So you will perform the process of filtration. So extra zinc, excessive zinc remain on the paper, and you have a filtrate which is ZnSO4. Now some zinc is still left, so you remove it through this process. Okay students, is there any confusion? Now you need to get the zinc sulfate ZnSO4 from this zinc sulfate solution, which is basically water and zinc sulfate. So how can you remove it? Take some filtrate of zinc sulfate in the china dish. Now heat the solution. Heat it. When you heat the solution evaporates. So you will get a saturated solution of zinc sulfate. After removing some water, you will get saturated solution of zinc sulfate. After this, allow it to cool. You will find the crystals of the zinc sulfate in the evaporating dish. This is what the method, the steps you need to know for the formation of the zinc sulfate. First, you add zinc in H2SO4. Zinc react with H2SO4, producing the hydrogen gas, which is in the form of bubbles, and the solution is reacting. And how can you confirm the reaction is complete? When you see that there is no bubble formation of hydrogen gas. So the solution has zinc sulfate. Extra zinc can be removed through the process of filtration. Now you get zinc sulfate. You need to heat the solution so that it becomes saturated. Allow it to cool. You will get the crystals of the zinc sulfate. Okay, so this method is very effective for making the salts, like with magnesium. You can prepare the salt of magnesium through this method. You can prepare the salt of aluminum that has aluminum in it, like aluminum sulfate, and the aluminum chloride. You can prepare this process. You can perform this process with the magnesium, aluminium, even zinc की हमने example discuss कर लिया है. You can take iron. There are also other elements like sodium, potassium. We cannot perform this reaction with sodium, potassium, because sodium, potassium is very reactive. Even calcium is very reactive. So they react violently with the acids. We cannot apply this process for sodium, for calcium, for potassium. We cannot perform this process for these elements because they are too reactive. There are also other extremes that there are metals which are very slow in reaction, like you have lead, Pb, even you have copper, you have like silver, and you have like silver symbol Ag, and you have gold, Au, which is gold. So these are very even this copper, silver, gold do not react with acid. So we cannot perform this kind of procedure for making the salt of copper, silver and gold. And we cannot perform this process for making the salt of sodium, calcium and potassium, because they are too reactive, they do not react, and these can react and form the respective salt. So for exam point of view, if you want to make a salt of magnesium, aluminum, zinc, even iron, you can perform this process. Thank you.